Recording today from a hotel room in Victoria, like the ceiling fan behind me. I'm thinking about Italy, where so many buildings are positively ancient and still functioning. There's often a beautiful mix of modernity and antiquity in the materials and design of the structures themselves. The first restaurant I remember really enjoying immensely in Italy was the Bel Soggiorno in the Soggiorno Hotel. In the medieval town of, and a big tourist town, by the way, of San Gimignano in Tuscany. The food was delicious, and the uninterrupted views of rolling Tuscan countryside was postcard beautiful. But what caught my eye was the electric sliding glass doors leading you to a vast room with stone floors and wood beam ceilings. The apartment that I'm blessed to use often in Venice has been built only in the last 5 years, but it sits like a modern jewel in what otherwise might be a bomb shelter that seems to have survived some steady attacks. In the north end of Venice are what in England would be called council flats, apartment blocks built by the locals as affordable housing, and not for contestants or heirs to leather goods or auto fortunes. And I've been in some of these, and they are more than adequate. They're often quite beautiful and well appointed with the usual modern built-in toys and conveniences. Most people, except perhaps the terribly rich or entitled, would probably find themselves very comfortable and at home in these places, and these places show no signs of deteriorating like the slums and housing projects often in England and the U.S. have. What draws me to these flats is that they bring me swiftly back to where I grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I lived in a large, warm house with a large, warm, and mildly crazy family. Yet walking down the street, I was always fascinated by these neighborhood apartment blocks. Several of my school chums lived in these. The broad front doors to the buildings adorned in gold leaf paint with some elegant name, the Warwick, the Windsor, Sherbrooke, and the curiously southern screened back porches and fire escapes struck my child mind as terribly exotic. I imagined a wonderful closeness in these families, mixing in the little that I knew of them with the images and scenes from all the black and white Hollywood movies I watched in those days. My idealized version of closeness suggested intimacy and loving care and laughter, where in fact these may have actually prevailed unbearable friction exacerbated by living in cramped quarters. How do I know? I imagined also in these apartments a sense of community where what might have been was in fact a unit-by-unit sorrow of isolation. Pickle. The grass is always greener. Look around you, count your blessings. Ask yourself how you might improve right now, right where you are. Where are you standing?